G'day, Starlo here.
It's the absolute depths of winter and the days are very, very short. But Joe and I have escaped the office for an hour or two in the late afternoon just to come down to our local beach and cast a bait in the hope of maybe catching a salmon or a tailor or a bream. It's reasonably warm at the moment, but it's going to get cold pretty fast when that sun sinks down behind the hills behind me. I don't know if we'll stay that long. Joe's got a full-length neoprene waders on, which is a pretty good idea, I think. I'm in shorts. The legs are all right at the moment, and the water's not too bad, to be honest. I'm just walking along the beach with my bait. There's a fair bit of drift going to the north here at the moment. Even though we've got a very light northerly wind blowing in the opposite direction, the current is dragging the baits along the bottom. And rather than just standing in the one spot and letting my line get pulled around, I'm walking along just to stay parallel with the bait as it drifts. It's a nice way to cover a bit of ground doing this. I much prefer to have a mobile bait than to just anchor it to the bottom with a big sinker like a lot of people do. I fish quite light on the beach, even when there's a bit of longshore drift like this. Now you might be wondering why we picked this particular spot to fish. There's not a lot of obvious feature on the beach at the moment, but there is a bit of a low point in the waves out here, a bit of a saddle you might be able to see, and that possibly indicates a bit of a gutter going out here. And then further north, just up here, there's an obvious sandbar that the waves are breaking on. So it's a likely enough spot. We'll give it a bit of a go. As my bait gets up here, it's actually accelerating and going faster to the north. So I'll reel it in a minute, walk back down to the south and cast again. Oh, there's a bite. My first bite. Oh, yep, he's come back. Not a particularly big fish, I don't think. He's got it, and I missed him. Made a bit of a mess of the bait. I'll pull the rest of that pilchard off and just throw it in there. I might use a slightly bigger bait this time. This is the head portion of a pilchard. That looks pretty good to me. Yeah, well, that came off that really short cast, about 18 or 20 metres at the most. It was a series of short, sharp bites. Could have been a bream, but more likely a little salmon. So I'll do the reasonably short cast again, I think. Just a very gentle lob. You'll notice that I'm just picking the line up with my finger and not actually closing the bail arm, and then I walk backwards to make contact with the bait. By keeping the bail arm open like that, if I get a tentative bite, I can feed a little bit of line to the fish. What seems to be happening here is that the bait drifts north for a little while, and then it just kind of sits. And it was where it sat that I got the bites. So I'll just walk along with it till it gets to that same point again. I'm trying to keep parallel with the bait as it moves. I'm getting very close to where I got the bites now, I think. The drift has definitely slowed up as it gets here. Yep, there's a bite. Same spot again, very tentative. That bigger bait I put on might be too much bait for that small fish. He's just playing with it again, nosing it around. Probably trying to work out how he can swallow 2/3 of a pilchard. Seems to have left it alone now. And now the bait has started moving north again. Oh, there's a bite, there's a bite. It's a slightly keener bite. Still very, very tentative though. Still playing with it. With a heavy sinker and thick line, I wouldn't even feel these bites. This is why I love braid in the surf too. It gives you so much more feel. Oh, he's got it now. Oh, missed him. He actually took off with the bait. I let him have a metre or so and then whacked him and no joy. All right, it's starting to happen. He ate most of the bait. I walk back down to the south again and make another short cast. Now, I don't know if you saw where that bait landed, but it wasn't very far out at all. And that seems to be where I'm getting the bites. Oh, that was a better bite. Just a very quick tug. Oh, he's there again. Got him this time. Ah, yes. I knew if he played around with it enough, I'd end up getting him. It's really quiet this afternoon. But if you work away at it, not a very active fish. Not actually sure what this is. I don't think it's a salmon. It's a... Oh, it's woken up a bit now. Just going to use that wave to bring it up. It is a little salmon. Yep. Little Australian salmon. Oh, and after all that mucking around, I was going to say he swallowed it, but he swallowed the back hook. And that is the size that I like eating them at. He's under a kilo, that fish. Well under a kilo. It's probably about 800 grams, I reckon. And that's my favourite eating size for an Australian salmon. I'm going to brain spike him, bleed him, and that'll be dinner. We'll need another one, I reckon. So handy having the tube to drop your rod in rather than putting the outfit down in the sand. Good stuff. We're getting to that magic time of the afternoon now as the sun sinks. Surely we'll find a bit more action. Oh, there's a bite. Oh, yep. He's getting a little bit keener. Had a couple of goes at it. I'm not going to react to those first tentative bites. He's come back, and I got him. Oh, it might be a slightly better fish. This one's woken up straight away. It'll be very, very easy to miss out this afternoon. By casting out too far, by fishing too heavy, and by not walking with your bait, you could easily go home without a fish. By going light, oh, I don't think this one is a salmon. No, it's a bream. Oh. Not a bad bream. Certainly well and truly legal. 30 odd centimetres long. If he's not deep hooked though, I'll probably let him go. I'll have that hook in fairly deep. Yeah, he's got one of my hooks quite deep, so I will keep him. I don't mind eating him off the beach. Nice silvery one like that. Slowly getting a meal together.
Killed, bled and placed on the cool sand beside the salmon. That's probably just about enough to feed Joe and me.
The sun's just about to disappear behind the mountain range behind, and the cold will start to creep out, but this is when I expect to get the best bites.
You can't beat that change of light period.
I won't be staying too much longer. A couple more casts. We're just about out of bait anyway. I only brought a handful of pilchards. It was a bit of a spur of the moment trip, and it's been really tough. The fish are just not in the mood, biting really strangely. So I think we did all right to get a couple. Just be nice to finish off with a better one. Oh, Joe's on. There you go. Right at the death. She's found one. Using the wave to bring it up. She's got a little bream. Oh dear, I know. That'll come out really well. You'll be able to put him back.
Wouldn't be legal, would he?
He is actually just legal, but no, we'll put him back.
I'll put him back, but I'll measure him.
No sooner had Joe walked off to unhook and release her bream when...
Oh, yeah, that's the one I've been waiting for. Woohoo! Right at the death. Oh, that fish just took off with that bait. Look at the line it's taking. It ain't over till it's over. We've got about one bait left each. And I've hooked the fish of the session.
I'm running 8-pound braid and a 12-pound fluorocarbon leader.
Oh, he's jumping out there. It's a lovely big salmon. Beautiful big jump out behind the waves. I'm pretty sure you won't have seen it. It was quite a long way out. Oh, there he goes again. You might have seen that one. Oh, that's so much fun on the light gear.
It's a Shimano Katana coastline light rod and a Vanford reel.
Now, I think this is my sinker. It's run right up the line here, or it could be a bit of weed. No, it looks like my sinker, which could be a bit of an issue if it's jammed there. Not good sliding, so it's all good. He took off so fast, he blew the sinker right back up the line above the leader and everything. Oh, another big jump right there.
You can't rush them on this gear.
I love fighting fish in the surf on light tackle. If you don't panic, you can catch some pretty big fish on light gear in the surf. I mean, a lot bigger than this. If I hooked a nice mulloway or a gummy shark on this gear, I could certainly land it if I didn't run out of line.
way that rod soaks up the fish's lunges. It's poetry in motion.
Now this is the critical stage where it'll be very easy to snap a light leader. So I'm just going to wait for the right wave. This one looks promising. Not quite. This wave. Even in that shallow water, he's just got so much purchase on the water. Tell you what, he went really hard. Oh, he's in immaculate condition. That's a lovely 2.5 kilo salmon, I reckon. I'm going to put him back. He's just hooked on the outside. That one's come out quite easily. And this one's going to come out. There we go. He's unhooked. What a gorgeous fish. All right, getting back into the surf. That'll do me, I think. See you, mate. Thanks for visiting. There he goes. Make sure he's up the right way. And out he goes. Woo! Well, I'm going to leave those last couple of baits for Joe. What a great little session that was in the end. Really worked hard for him. But sometimes you've got to work for your fish. Anyway, until next time, this is Starlo wishing you tight lines.
Hey, if you enjoyed this one, please think about subscribing and giving me a thumbs up. Thanks. I'll catch you later.